Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome back to After the Island. We finally have Miss Kenz in the studio, aka my apartment.
And what a lovely apartment it is. This apartment has come a long way.
The first time Mackenzie was in this apartment, I think she was terrified of me and never wanted to speak to me again.
I just felt like you needed like sunflowers ASAP because it was so depressing in here. It was so dark. And the feng shui was off. Like the sofa was blocking the door.
Everything was off.
There's so many cute things about this place. And it was just like not being underutilized. So I'm so excited that it's being just, harnessed to its full potential.
That's what I love to hear. I love that sentence. I really do. Everyone, Kenz.
Oh my God, you guys are so cute. Do you think that they should bring me as another host for next season? I think
100%. Like you do the show, we'll do the after show.
Yeah, there we go.
It just makes sense.
I mean, it would make sense, but I have not gotten a phone call yet.
But neither have I. Love Island, that's on you. Yes, this is live. I thought that it would be fun because Kenz is a pro at this. She's been on After the Island a million times.
Yeah.
And I know everyone has so many questions for you. So I wanted the people to be able to ask too.
Give the people what they want.
Give them what they want.
Ooh.
Let's start out though.
Okay.
How was it walking into season 4 as Bombshell? Like I have to know.
Oh my goodness. Oh, it seems like so long ago already.
Does it?
Yeah, it really does. I think like to be this far out of the experience, and I've seen so many of them like already because we had that like Saturday supper, as I want to call it. But I was really nervous at first, but then immediately I was put at ease. Jesse came up and gave me like a big hug and was super friendly. And I mean, it's weird being a bombshell at that point in the show, and also like to not know that you're going to be the final bombshell.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I would have done anything differently if I had known I was the last one. Like, I wonder if I would have been a little bit more chaotic if I had known I was the last.
I'm dead. I wish that you were chaotic, but this was your redemption tour. That's what we've been calling it, obviously.
Yes, redemption tour. It was a sold out tour.
I feel like it was a sold out tour. And I feel like a lot of people don't know you always wanted to be a bombshell.
I did always want to be a bombshell, but I was really nervous because like historically blondes, big tits, we're not.
You don't have boobs.
I don't have boobs. No, you can't even really see them in this shirt. You can see like this subtle little outline. Okay, I guess they do look really big if I go like that. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Okay. But no, I wanted to be one, but I was nervous that it'd be really hard to come in and be accepted. And so the fact that I was able to do both now is really cool. But I think it would have been a really different experience had I not been on it before and then been a bombshell. Like fortunately for me, almost every girl had seen the show.
Right.
And had seen me. So it felt like I was walking in a whole different situation. I didn't know if all the girls would have watched it already, but they all did. And I don't know, but there's
so everyone knew who you were.
All the girls did, yeah. A couple of the guys did. Chad knew and Jesse knew.
Jesse's face when he saw you was priceless. Me and your mom were texting and I was like, wait, why? He literally just acted like he saw the Queen of England.
Yeah, have you ever? Oh my God, rest in peace.
R.I.P.
God.
R.I.P.
Not again. I literally, yesterday, we kept on like having this moment of being like, the Queen is dead. Oh shit. Like the Queen is dead.
I actually had that moment quite a few times too.
I was like really sad. I was like, should I be wearing black? Like, I feel like this is a moment in history.
I'm dead.
And it was my friend's birthday. I'm like, is that a bad sign or is it a good sign? Like, I don't know what that means.
I feel like that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Because she's royal.
Yeah, she is royal. But no, I mean, the boys definitely made me feel like royalty when I came in. Do you like how I went with that there?
That was a nice little
segue. No, I mean, everyone was so open in my experience, like as far as being very welcoming. I felt like for the most part, like I hit it off right away with everybody. But the downside of that was I feel like people weren't looking at me like I was actually there to be a part of the experience, to meet somebody. Like, at the end of my first night, everyone's like talking about the challenge. They're talking about the hike. They're talking about the elimination. But it's like, it's not even like registering for people that it was literally my first night in the villa. And not a single person was like, so who are you into?
Yeah. You were like, hey, I'm here.
I'm literally like, I'm here. Am I
I'm
invisible?
the camp counselor.
Did I borrow like Harry Potter's cloak or something?
Stop.
Because like, why is no one noticing me? So yeah, I would say that was the only like weird part. And perhaps that's what made it so easy to shift into like the mentor role, because no one was really looking at me in like a competitive way. I mean, I think I threw off Naja at first. I think that she wasn't used to someone coming in and saying outright they found Jeff attractive. But as from what I heard from every girl in there thought Jeff was hot. I just don't know that any girl outright said it. But like, I mean, you have to be blind to not see that.
Yeah,
like,
he's so hot.
I think if there was like a hottest Islander vote, he probably would be
100%.
him or Jesse potentially.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
I did see
but no
Jesse,
girl was
like,
saying that. Like, but that was what we were all thinking. But like, I just said it. Sorry.
And was she like mad, or did you just kind of back off?
She definitely like had a reaction when I came in. I don't know how much of it was aired, but you know, pretty quickly after that, I had this moment of like, oh shit, like, is this how it's gonna be? But you know, we got really comfortable in the challenge together, and she and I never got really close, but it was not like anything else happened after that moment. And I realized that I wasn't going to force anything, and I wasn't really like that into him. It was very surface level of just appearance wise. I found him very attractive, but personality wise, it was not a match. No.
Yeah. So, well, before we get to this question, I need you to clear this up, because everyone was so confused, and I've been trying to explain it, but you explain it best because you experienced it. The Chad situation. Like, you guys were never a romantic thing, right?
No. I think we were open to it being romantic. So I think that, you know, Chad hadn't really been, I guess Chad had started his test with Phoebe. I wasn't aware of that. So I hadn't seen any of the footage of him and Phoebe together, based on the fact that, you know, we are allowed to watch the show before we go in, but the episodes weren't out yet that showed, you know, Phoebe starting to pursue Chad.
Okay.
So when I came in that day, I knew that as far as like semi-open guys, it was mostly going to be like Chad or Joel. And I knew that as far as like personality wise, Chad was probably the most on par with what I was looking for, because Jared had gone home, and he was another one that I had thought would go well personality wise. Like, I had guys looks wise, so it was like strictly looks. It was like Jesse and Jeff, and then like personality wise, it was Jared and Chad. And so I sort of like worked with what I had at that moment. And I just started talking to Chad, and he was explaining how Courtney wanted to be exclusive, and I was just sort of there as like this unbiased person removed from the situation that Chad could sort of like work out his feelings for Courtney with. And then, I mean, inadvertently, I don't really think it had very much to do with me at all, because obviously we didn't pursue anything romantically. I think that I helped him to figure out how he felt about Courtney and where Courtney felt like she stood with him. Like, I think that it was like the kick in the butt they both needed to be like, you know, we're comfortable, we like each other, but this isn't it. Because I think that I don't see them being the best match for each other. And I feel like I wasn't being pushy at all. I was just like, is this what you want with Courtney? And I think that I was the first person to come in, not necessarily like trying to like kiss Chad like Phoebe was, but be like, Chad, what is it that you want? You know, you're here for your own experience. Yes, Courtney brought you back, and that's great, but you don't technically owe her anything. Like, you're here for you. And if she met someone who's a better match for her, then, I mean, I would hope that she would consider the same things that you are. So I think that I was just kind of like part of the catalyst for that breakup happening. And then I didn't realize until after the recoupling where Chad picked me that he was actually planning to pick Phoebe. Because everybody that I talked, there was like two camps. It was like everyone that I talked to said, Chad's going to pick you. He's expressed an interest in you. And then this other camp was like, he's so into Phoebe. And because it was kind of like separate, I didn't talk as much to those other people, not on purpose. It just worked out that way. I didn't know that. And so finding that out after, I was a bit like, okay, so I was like somewhat of like a second choice, but he also was like, I feel like you need to be here. He's like, he would always be very complimentary and be like, I feel like I learned so much from you. And he's like, I think you bring a lot to this villa. And so I feel like you do need to be here. But I think that if both of us were honest, it was going to be a stretch if it ended up being romantic. But I am really glad that I ended up partnered up with him, even if I was his second choice, because I think that Joel and I would have felt really defeated by the process much quicker because my heart wasn't really in it since I wasn't really meeting anybody and Joel really missed Bella. And so I think had we been coupled up, it's like misery loves company. And I do think that like Phoebe and us being coupled up with Phoebe and Chad respectively kept us more in the villa. And kept us there. And Chad's so much fun.
He can talk.
He's like really funny. We did so many challenges and I loved being partnered up with him because he was the right amount of competitive, but goofy. I'm so grateful to have been his partner. I do wish that, it seems weird that was like the last recoupling. Like, I don't think any of us knew that. Like, literally all of us thought like, okay, there's going to be another.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically like the Phoebe, I guess that's the Chad situation in that, pretty much within the first day of being coupled up, we realized it's not romantic. But we're so thankful that we met each other. And then all the Phoebe stuff I didn't know was happening. Like I literally, he told me that she kissed him the night of the recoupling. He let me know. So I did appreciate that. So I didn't look stupid. Like I didn't find that out from somebody else. He told me before anyone else did. But yeah, like pretty much beyond that, he really didn't communicate much about what was going on with them. So I was happy for them when I learned that they were so into each other. But as we heard from the situation in the dressing room, like it was not something that I knew about from him. Right. I didn't know about it.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, when I talked to Chad about it later, he just said, I was pursuing you. So I felt like it'd be disrespectful to tell you, there's like sides to both of that. I mean, I personally feel like he could have been more upfront and but at the end of the day, it doesn't really, in the grand scheme of things, matter. Like I would have been upfront, but that's just me. Everyone knows that I can't shut up. So.
Can we talk about how Elizabeth thought that you were gonna like Joel?
Oh my God. I literally considered Elizabeth a friend until that. I'm just kidding, Elizabeth. I love you. But also, like, what were you thinking? Joel is literally, Chad and I would always look at each other and we'd be like, Joel's just the best guy ever.
He really is.
Like, we don't deserve him. We don't deserve him.
He's like the second coming. Like, he just seems like.
But the funny thing is about Joel, though, like, and the only reason why, like, the reason why I'm able to still be tight with him and not be like rolling my eyes at what a nice guy he is Joel's 28. Like, he's had his fuckboy phase. He has that in him. It's just like, if you don't talk to him enough, like if you don't like get to those parts of him and like actually learn more about his past, you probably think he's just like this major softie, and he is, but he does have an edge to him as well. Right. Like he's had his fun and he just knows he's ready to settle down. Like he's not naive, I should say. I guess that's where like the difference is. If he were like a naive person, I wouldn't be able to be so close to him.
Right.
But he's just a really solid guy and he just wants a wife,
Yeah.
And I don't really want to be living in a house right now.
In Massachusetts.
Yeah. I don't want to have a permanent address.
That's, that's okay. And that's okay.
But he sold me on where he lives in Massachusetts. Sounds like a lot of fun.
I'm sure it is.
Apparently it's like super LGBTQ plus friendly, like super friendly for that. Yeah. And I'm like, I want to come party with you there. I thought it was like, like Pat's Nation. Like I didn't know.
I kind of see it that way
really
too.
Like kind of like a very accepting area.
Huh.
Yeah.
We're going to visit Joel.
Yeah, let's go visit Joel, everybody.
I'm dead. This is a good question. Who was the most different that you thought when you met in person versus watching before you went in?
I would probably say Timmy was one of the most different. I think that, but I also think that I was coming in so late in the show, and I think that when you've been in there so long, when you're an original, especially if you've been coupled up with someone for so long, you do kind of tend to just go into autopilot. And Timmy like was like the dad of the house, you know. He was in like the way that my dad is. The dad is like always so friendly and nice when you talk to them, but kind of just does their own thing a lot of the time.
Right.
And I think that I expected him to potentially be more like a Jeff and just like be around a lot.
He was just over it.
He just kind of kept to himself, you know, and like hung out with Zeta. But sometimes I'd walk into the kitchen and he'd be having spirited debates, or it was just more of like
that word.
He wasn't always going to be like hanging out with everybody all the time. But I would see like really cute moments of like he and Joel got really close. Joel and him would like work out together. So I think that was the most different, but I forget that, you know, Timmy's 29. So like the crowd got a lot younger. It was
as the season went on. It's so true.
It was kind of like the crowd was a bit younger. And so I think that, you know, but Timmy's great.
We love Timmy Swerve. T-Swerve. Why did you give Deb the advice you did about Jesse?
So the Deb and Jesse thing was really hard because I think everybody watching initially was like, what is going on with these two?
Yes.
Because like America loved Deb pretty quickly. And I mean, as someone who's met her, she's very true at it. Like that's how she is in real life. Mm-hmm. Like she's awesome, as you know, as well. But things had shifted a lot. Like, cause Casa Amor, her coming back with somebody, I was proud of her for, you know, putting herself out there in Casa. And, you know, I think it's not like I would ever encourage someone to come back with someone else, but it's like, I appreciate when girls are willing to put themselves out there.
Yeah.
If you're not in a relationship, if you're not like boyfriend and girlfriend, there's really no reason to not put yourself out there in Casa, because that's what it's meant to do.
You literally thrived in Casa.
Casa was the best time of the show.
It was the best time to watch Mackenzie. Like we were like, who is this woman?
Casa Mackenzie, yeah, it came to life.
Literally, I love Casa Mackenzie.
It was, if I could live those few days over again, I would.
I'm dead.
It was an absolute blast. I mean, we treated it like a girls' trip.
Yeah.
And we just had a lot of fun with it. And we definitely had moments where we were like, oh, we missed the guys, but we really enjoyed our time. And I think that's what it's a shame when people don't enjoy Casa, because at the bare minimum, just like have a blast, enjoy yourself, like treat it like a vacation. But anyway, so the fact that she was willing to put herself out there, I was like, kudos to her. And then kudos to Jesse for the way that he responded when he came back, because, you know, if you were to compare put parallel situations of like me coming back with somebody and Connor coming back alone versus like the Deb and Jesse situation, the way that Connor reacted was just like, he just laid down in the middle of the road and said, run over me. Like, I'm done. I'm not going to fight for you. I'm not going to talk to you. Like, looking back, I'm like, that's kind of like, I mean, I get him being upset, but like how shitty that like he didn't even want to talk to me or be like, I'm going to fight for this.
Right. So that never came out of his mouth. Why you would have that talk with her, because you literally went through the exact same thing.
Yeah. And I think that, you know, Jesse and Connor were very well liked in the villa, as like, you know, the resident nice guy.
Yeah.
And so I felt like there were a lot of parallels between our situation, but you've got to give Jesse a lot of credit that he did say, I'm going to fight for you. I'm going to put in more effort. And he did. It was just like Deb after the cock challenge. She just like had this, I think she was just starting to like at that point in the process. I think she was starting to just kind of get in her head a little bit. And I don't know her well enough to know like, are these actual concerns or are these just like spiraling moments? Now she said like that was just kind of her spiraling.
Okay.
I think in most interviews that's kind of what she said. But I was just sort of, you know, trying to remind her that, you know, just because everyone loves Jesse and everybody loves you, like I love Jesse too, and that's why it was tough of like, in a perfect world, like you guys will be perfect for each other. But just reminding her of, you've got to do what's best for you and really think about, is this going to work on the outside world? Do you want to leave here together, or do you want to leave? How do you want to leave things when you leave here?
Right.
And so that's just sort of what I was encouraging her to think about, because you're never going to find faults in the nice guy. The nice guy is always going to be the nice guy. It's not like when a guy's a dick and he cheats on you and does something like blatant that you could be like, okay, well, I don't be with him for that reason.
Bye.
And I do think that she was just trying to figure out, are their personalities compatible? And ultimately she decided they were. And so I'm super happy for them.
Yeah.
I like them both so much. It's just like, it is really hard that Love Island is seen as like a pairs thing and like a group thing, but in reality, it's an individual thing.
100%.
And I think I was just trying to remind Deb of that.
Wow, Lindsay, thank you. We will get to your question. Just this one, because I'm so curious. How was the Santa Barbara villa like rated to the Vegas one? I feel like it was top tier compared to Vegas.
Are you joking me?
No.
I will never go back.
Explain.
I will never go back.
Explain.
I can't really give away too much, but I would just say that television does a great job of making things look
bigger than they are.
Yeah, or different than they are. I was so confused for days as to where everything was.
Really?
The Vegas one, also our dressing room was huge. Like we had so much room to just spread out. Like our dressing room was massive. And then the boys also had a dressing room. And that was so fun because when we'd all get ready for bed, a lot of times we would just go sit in there and everyone would chat. Mm-hmm. And that didn't exist in this one. Like,
yeah, so the boys didn't have a dressing room?
They were just always in the bedroom. And then you had to walk through the bedroom to get to the bathroom. And so it was just like a whole thing. And that's just like a walk of shame in front of all the boys all the time.
I'm dead.
But no, yeah, it made me definitely miss the Vegas villa. And I think that Dre's should reopen it for us.
Yeah. Yes. Dre's, this is your shot.
You should do it in the off season when it's not pool season in Vegas.
Would be so cool.
Reopen it. Yeah, people would pay
just
the Love Island experience
to get to stay over. Imagine like strangers paying to stay over, and then there's other random strangers. That could get weird. But like everything else, so much fun.
I mean, in reality, that's what we were. We were all strangers. It's just like it's like a hostel.
You're right. Maybe everyone just has to get a background check before they can stay there.
I mean, sometimes the background checks aren't the best for Love Island, though, either.
Ain't that the truth? But, I do have sound effects. I just don't want to fuck anything up. All right. Lindsay, thoughts on Isaiah and Sydney as a couple?
I love them together. I love them so much. If I had to pick a couple that would be together in 10 years, I would say Sydney and Isaiah.
Really?
Yeah. Out of this season, them, yeah.
Wow.
Well, not including Bella and Joel.
They're getting married. That it doesn't count.
Married and moving to Massachusetts together.
It doesn't count.
It doesn't count. Yeah. No, I think that they really are. I think that part of a relationship is trying to understand what your partner needs and putting in that work to do the things that you need to do to make your partner happy and like meeting in the middle. And I think that even though we see a lot of like chaos and like ups and downs and fractures in their relationship, I think that every fracture just made them stronger because they had to deal with so much already.
Right.
That like post villa life should be pretty easy for them. Plus they spent like a lot of time alone together. So I think that too, while it's good to have a healthy balance of being with the group and being apart, but maybe you can testify to this. Like what I warn people of is like, when you're on the outside, you can't rely on other people in the group to bring the sense of humor, to bring the excitement, to bring the banter. So if you and your partner like solo aren't having nearly as much fun as you are in the group, then that's really going to be an issue on the outside.
Right. I was saying when I went live, I was talking about how when we all went out and like they literally can't keep their hands off each other. They are just like, they're so cute.
No, they're really
literally
cute.
They're so cute.
They're very in love. It's very cute.
What was the situation like when you explained to Isaiah how Sydney felt about the Twitter challenge? Oh yes, this was literally such a shining moment, and it's such a like Kenz moment to school the boys on things they probably should understand.
Yeah.
But how did you go about like approaching that? Because I know it probably was such an awkward situation.
Well, I was like torn whether or not to say something because I do think that as much as Naja wanted to help, that was clear that she wanted to be a part of that. I don't think that Isaiah was going to be as receptive to what Naja was saying given their history. So I think that when I came into the situation, I was just trying to help Isaiah out. I do think that we had like a kind of an unspoken brother sister bond. I felt probably like he was one of the guys I felt outside of Joel and Chad that I felt closer to.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I were to say like closeness, I would say like Joel and Chad, and then Jesse and Zay, and then like Jeff and Timmy as far as like who I was the closest to. So I was sort of just trying to approach it from not an angry perspective, because I can definitely approach guys sometimes and be sort of like aggressive with my delivery. But I wanted to just be more of like a teaching moment, because I feel like he genuinely didn't mean to cause the kind of harm that he did. Mm-hmm. And I think that intent does matter. It's not just what's said, it's the intention behind it. And, you know, he was just obviously hurting. And I feel like he was so.
You'll need to turn off airplane mode.
I don't know what happened.
I feel like he was just so receptive to wanting to learn what he did wrong. And I mean, I hope that I explained it in a way that made sense to him. Yeah, I don't know. He's so sweet. Like he really, I mean, at least he was to me. That was my experience. Okay. I mean, I think that he's very much like if you treat him with respect and like you're kind to him, then he'll do the same. So
yeah, no, he's like
21.
I know, he's like a little brother, literally.
There needs to be like a constant reminder, like 21. Because at that point, a lot of the guys were a little bit older.
I know. That's what I'm so shocked. Now that we're talking about it, I did not realize like it did get younger by the end of the season.
Yeah, it got younger, but the guys, it was like kind of an extreme. It was like Timmy's 29, Joel was 28, Jesse was 27, and then Jeff's 25, Chad's 24, and then Zay is 21.
21 is young.
Yeah, it is young.
I love this question. Was season 4 different than your experience on season 2?
Yes, very, very different. And I'm so thankful for that, because I was a little bit nervous. I'm still close to so many of my castmates from season 2 that I was concerned, what if I just miss them the whole time? What if it's so weird? What if I don't know. I just had a lot of like what ifs, but the experiences were just so entirely different that I'll never get them jumbled in my mind as to what my feelings were like. I mean, the first time around, it was all pretty much about my experience pursuing a relationship, pursuing a connection. And this time was so much more about my connections with everybody in the villa. But you have to give them credit. They were a very welcoming bunch. Like if they had not been so open to accepting me, then it would have been probably a very different experience. But that particular group of people, they just weren't as competitive. They just were so much more laid back, which maybe didn't always make the most interesting drama. I still think season 3 wins for the most dramatic Islanders ever. If they had brought some of the season 3 people back,
I'm like, I literally like season 3 was just mess, but like the most beautiful, amazing.
It was such.
Remember when we would try to talk about it and we were like, honestly, we don't even know what the fuck is going on.
We would say something, and then the next episode, we would be just like completely invalidated.
We were like, wait, do we even do this podcast anymore?
We thought that we did it right. We thought we're so on it. We know what's happening, and we were so wrong. We were literally so wrong.
So beyond wrong. Like everything we said.
Every time. We're like, oh yeah, so-and-so like so-and-so. Nope.
Plot twist.
Oh, I miss their mess.
I'm dead.
They're
it's
crazy.
So funny. I liked this. I don't know if you can say it, but who got an inaccurate edit? And did the Islanders have any idea of public reaction to everyone's?
I can't really comment on the first part, but I would say that my impression of what the public was thinking, because I still had my phone, so I had seen things before I went in, so I knew what the public was feeling and thinking. I do think that the Islanders were not aware of the perception. Certain Islanders were not aware of the perception of them.
Really?
And I don't think the other islanders were aware either. But that's how it should be. I think that you should really not be thinking about what the public is saying or what the public is thinking. Like, I was incredibly unaware of what, like, because they were like, yeah, Mackenzie, you're doing great. And like,
You're a star.
You're a star. And I mean, I was a star, but I was not the star that I thought I was.
You were my favorite star.
Thank you. I am bummed that like I do feel like there were so many more like meme worthy moments from this season that like didn't make it to social media. And I'm like, why?
What can you tell us some?
I was just giving some great material in Beach Hut. I can't recite it off the top of my head. Like I had so many memes my first season.
Yeah,
and
you did.
I think I've only gotten funnier. I don't think I've gotten less funny.
I totally agree.
And I didn't have much to work with, but I definitely was throwing some things out there in Beach Hut.
Release the tapes, Love Island.
Yes,
Release the Beach Hut tapes.
Please do. I need another meme to trend that's not me crying. Okay. Thanks.
It is so good though. Why does America hate me?
We're gonna sell the t-shirts. We're gonna get the t-shirts.
Literally,
made.
I want it on a mug.
I mean, I keep saying I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna actually do it now. I'm not kidding. Stay tuned.
I'm dead ass.
It'll be holiday gifts.
Yep. Yes. Let's get on that right now. I want to know who are you closest with?
That's such a sweet one.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Who were you closest with as to girls? Like, who did you go to when you needed to girl talk?
If I needed to girl talk, well, if I wanted advice on something, I would typically go to Zita. Because Zita was definitely never afraid to get deep. I also think that she had her finger on the pulse as far as what was going on in the villa. So it was funny when it came to like certain situations of like broken telephone. If I wanted someone to find something out, I would go to Zita. And then she would figure out who to talk to get the answers, or if there was like some kind of situation where like there was things not being communicated about like I think it was like maybe a Phoebe and Chad situation, and I like went to talk to Zita about it because I was stressed out, and then she was like, I need to go talk to Timmy, and then she just like went out of there. But for a good time, I always was with Deb. We got a lot closer the last couple of days especially. And then Syd was so sweet, but poor thing was going through so much when I was in there that it wasn't really that I went to her very much, but she definitely did always make me feel very empowered. Like she was always like, you're a queen, like was always like, none of these boys deserve you.
Slay.
So yeah, like slay. Her. Yeah. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like you and Zita both kind of shared that role. Like you are such that role in real life too.
Yeah, I feel like I gave Zita the week off. You know, I really
You did. You said, let me get this check.
Yeah.
You'll get the rest.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I'm not planning to stay here, so you're gonna get the full bill, but like you can send me a Venmo request for this week because I'll help out. No, she actually even said that too, because I reminded her, I was like, I do think that you and Timmy have kind of taken on these therapist roles. And I think when you have been stable and steady for that long, people kind of forget like that you're there for your romantic connection. And I was like, you don't have to always put everything into that. Like you guys can say like respectfully, like we need a date night, you know?
Yeah.
And she even said that to me, I think on one of my last nights there, that she really appreciated that I reminded her of that. And I mean, I think that they got a lot of time together like that last like week or so.
Yeah, that's what we were all saying. We were really like, okay, why are they talking about everyone else's relationships? Because everyone's coming to them for advice. Like, can we just get a scene of them loving and like talking about themselves? Like, I want to know about them, not what
they would have like really sweet embraces. It just wasn't at moments. Like a lot of times it was off camera and like they were always, I loved being next to them in challenges because it was really sweet to hear how encouraging Zita would always be towards Timmy. Yeah. Like during the food challenge with like stuffing their faces. Zita was like, Timmy, I'm so proud of you. Like, I'm not going to try to do her accent again, but like, she was like, I'm so proud of you. And he was like, thank you. Like, he was just like struggling. And I thought it was really sweet. Like, she clearly knew how to reach him and how to communicate with him. And it was really sweet to see. They definitely have a very strong bond. The two of them,
they think they're a great, I think they're a great match. Rare Hearts wants tea. You don't have to mention any names.
I seriously wish there was tea. I kept telling them all like, you're boring. Like I'm so bored all the time. I don't think they showed it on camera, but you probably could have, if you had done a drinking game of me saying this is boring or like the boys are boring, you guys would have all been drunk.
Mackenzie deadass being like, why am I here? Y'all suck.
I literally, no, not even that. I was like, I would love to hang out with you guys like outside of this, but I'm bored and I kind of want to go somewhere else where there's televisions and music and not here.
I'm dead. I'm dead. You're like back to the hotel for me.
Take me back. Yeah, no, I don't. There's really just like not much tea. I feel like all the tea happened like after I left. Like obviously like those blow ups, those fights, like. But I think they just knew like not to bother me with that stuff.
No, you would have been like, please fuck off. I've already gone through enough. Okay. This is my redemption tour. Just let me sit here and be the mom.
I mean, yeah, I think, like I said, none of us thought that I was going to be the last bombshell. Like none of us did. So I think that it was also just like we were all like sitting in wait. Like once Courtney went home, those next couple of days were such a weird time because we were all so convinced that at any moment a bombshell was going to come in.
Yeah.
And so I don't feel like we were like giving every night our all necessarily because we were just kind of like waiting.
Right.
Because everyone knew.
We're like anticipating
something. Yeah,
something.
because they're like, why would they send Mackenzie in if there's no one in here for her? And I'm asking myself that as well. But
I started a rumor by accident and everyone really ran with it. I was like, they're sending in 2 new boys for Mackenzie on her birthday. And it like started to pick up traction. I was like, I was literally just kidding. Like I was wishing that for her. I really
thought they were going to, because how interesting would that have been? Like me and Phoebe going for new guys. I really thought the night of the tweet challenge, they were going to send in boys.
Yeah.
That is what I thought was going to happen, because that would have been very, very interesting. I think a couple of the couples were a little bit like topsy-turvy at that point, and it could have really just gone anywhere.
Blown up.
But no, they said, save the best for last.
And that was you.
Yeah, I guess so. I would have been okay to not be last, though.
And they really said, you're going to pick Joel.
They really did.
And you said no.
That's what's so crazy to me is they obviously thought I was going to pick Joel. Like they obviously thought that was a thing. And I'm like, this isn't like matchmaker. You're not like setting me up with one person. Like also, I'm supposed to have
off of looks.
Entirely off of looks. Well, I guess like the need to buy a house in the Northeast was also a thing.
Oh, okay.
And a love for bodybuilding competition.
I mean, you like it would be great. It's just not.
Wouldn't I have stayed in my past relationship though if that's what I wanted?
Yeah. You would.
Yeah,
you would.
Yeah.
So that's that on that. I'm dead.
I wish there was more tea. I'm sorry.
You know what I find so interesting?
You're boring is the new bro. Facts.
Yes.
Yeah, where's the boring count? Because that bro count, I'm like, I've said boring way more than this.
I need a bro count.
Release
the tapes. Honestly, Love Island, I'm done. I want to know, I think this is so interesting. How did you get reached out to come back on?
So I maintained a pretty good relationship with a lot of the team behind the scenes. I'm Instagram friends with a bunch of them. So one of the talent coordinators or managers, someone on the talent team from my season, reached out of the blue and was like, hey, are you single? Are you vaxxed? And I'm like, hot vax summer. Of course I'm vaxxed. And I'm single as per usual. So yes. And I thought it was going to be like an all-stars thing. And I was like, if it's all-stars, I'm not going.
What? You wouldn't have?
I don't want to date anybody from this show.
Yeah, you're right.
If I wanted to, I would have dated them already.
You're right. But like we could go and just like stir some shit up.
We would be bored in a day.
No, we could like totally create some drama.
Whatever you say. I mean, if you're going, I'm going. We're a package deal.
Thank you.
But that's originally what I thought it was. And then pretty quickly they're like, so spoiler alert, we might want to bring you back. But obviously I'm a huge UK Love Island fan.
Mm-hmm.
And Adam Collard came back this season. To be in a category of the only two to ever do it is me and Adam Collard. That's just, it's That's a pair.
Yeah,
That's
it
quite
is.
the
That's
pair.
quite the pair.
Quite the pair. We caused drama in very, very different ways on our original seasons. And then we both did not cause very much drama the second time.
You both came in laissez-faire. You said whatever happens, happens.
I think that he had his own redemption tour as well, though.
he definitely did.
I think we both redeemed ourselves. So I guess basically if you felt like you did a really bad job on Love Island the first time, try to cozy up to the talent producers and maybe they'll bring you back again. No, I'm just kidding. I heard a rumor that they were thinking about bringing multiple of us back. And honestly,
well, I wasn't reached out for that. Let me put that on the record.
I think you know too much.
I know, it's true.
And the show must go on.
The show must
how
go
would After
on.
the Island continue without you?
We were crying. Everyone in the chat was like, you just go on and be like, I'm just doing this for the podcast. I basically talk shit about all of you guys behind your back while you're on the show.
Did you ever I briefly did a dating app for a minute and I had podcaster as my occupation. And a lot of the messages were, is this for your podcast? Has anyone ever, are you on dating apps? Has anyone ever said that to you?
No, I got banned from Hinge and I've never even used it. I'm not fucking kidding.
Gotta hear the story there.
There is no story. I tried to make one and it said, you are banned from ever using this. Do not try to contact us. It will never be undone. And I was like, I've never even used it.
Oh my God.
I think someone must have been using my pictures or something. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Dead.
Wow.
So funny. I totally forget where we were, but Joel jumped into the chat.
Joel!
He said, hey, whoa, I'm more than just looks.
Joel, I know that. I said your bodybuilding and your house in the Northeast. Also, I went on and on about you earlier about how we did not deserve you. So rewind and go back.
Yeah, playback crew.
Play it right back. Okay?
Rewind the tape.
I think I've spent 20% of this episode talking about how great you are. Even
Joel
though
is
you're not even single, I don't think. It's I'm not even wing woman.
He's married.
I want to know where's the relationship status on that?
Yeah, Joel, can you give us some tea? What the hell?
Yeah.
You just jump in here?
Yeah, Joel, do you have the tea? I'll rewind. Love you, girl. Love you too.
Yeah, give us some tea, Joel.
Yeah. Where is it at, Jelly?
I'm dead. Peanut butter and jelly.
Peanut butter and jelly with tea. Oh, I would highly recommend if you guys have not watched the Unseen Bits episode, the last one.
I think
there is so
one.
much good Joel and Mackenzie content in there. And if you were here for this friendship, then you should watch it.
Wait, can you give me a little hint? I didn't watch it.
We had a really long conversation about peanut butter and jelly and which one of us is which. And it was hilarious. I am falling over. I think at one point I'm literally on the ground laughing. I was actually LOLing.
Okay.
I was ROTF LOLing.
I will be checking that out.
Yeah. It was really if I were to ever pursue acting, I'm this is
here is my reel.
This is my reel. Or if I were to be working in comedy, this is it.
Check it out. I'm do you have a time limit? Are you getting stared at?
What?
Do you have a time limit?
Do you have a time limit?
Mm-hmm.
I think I have a hard out in 5 to 10.
All right, 5 to 10 minutes. Anyone?
I guess that's not really a hard out. Joel, where is the relationship update?
Joel deadass just left the chat.
Did he really?
He was goodbye.
He said, I'm going to rewind and then bye.
Good day, sir. You do not.
Alex, if someone was on Hinge using your photos, you might end up as a guest starring on an episode of Catfish.
Honestly,
the crossover we all need.
This is not what I want.
No, that's amazing.
God.
I would love for someone to use my photos on a dating. I would be so
someone
flattered.
is. I'm sure someone is.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
100%.
I don't post that. Neither of us post enough, I think, for them to get away with that.
Yeah, you're right. We severely lack in the posting.
We're the worst influencers of all time.
No, dead ass. We are not influencers.
That's why we're podcasters.
We are podcasters, and we demand to be taken seriously.
Excuse me.
Everyone's he's just dipped.
He really dipped out. Oh God.
What was your favorite iconic line from this season?
Was there an iconic line from this season?
Know.
Am I missing something?
Bro?
No.
Are we missing something?
I mean, the moment that I will never forget, and I know that I literally come in and I'm Zeta, I want you to pop off. You haven't popped off in a minute.
We did not see this.
When she when she was when she yelled at Timmy over the shout heard around the world, that was epic. I loved it. And I was are you gonna do it again? And then she jokingly did it one time again, and I was it's just not the same. I mean, I loved that moment. I love it.
iconic.
It's really iconic.
Joker.
Joker.
Yeah,
that one. That was my favorite.
Oh, I loved Sydney, who's the clown now. That was a good one.
Who's the clown now? When did she say that? Syd said so many one-liners that I'm confident did not make the cut. And it was almost every single night she would just drop us with something. And I would just sit there and be like, damn, Syd, you're funny as hell.
I'm done.
Isaiah warned me about that. He's like, sometimes Sydney will say things that like, he's like, just follow along. And then, but he's like, she's really funny. And he was right. Like, she is really funny.
Yeah.
Like, she'll say some really funny shit.
Just like one-liners. And you're like, what?
They're just so sassy and only she could say them.
I love it.
Yeah.
I saw one that was like, it's obviously tea. Obviously, I'm going to bring it up. You don't have to answer.
What?
I know that you weren't at the reunion.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to like explain why?
Yeah. So as far as the reunion, I was very aware of the fact that my family was on a family trip in Maui, and we have not done a family trip in at least 10 years.
Oh.
And I just kind of felt like, as much as I wanted to meet everybody, without my own storyline of love this season, I felt like I was either going to get roped into the Phoebe and Chad situation, which I didn't want to, because I'm sorry, you can't call it a love triangle. That would require everyone being into everybody, and that was not the case. And also I felt like I was going to be asked to comment on other people's relationships, and I don't mind if you ask me for advice one-on-one, like I'm going to give it to you straight. Or maybe if I feel like you need me, like a cold hard truth, then I'll give it to you. But I don't want to like gossip. Like, and that's what I felt like that was just going to be gossip the whole time.
Right.
But I am bummed that I didn't get to meet everybody. It wasn't anything more than that. It was just like, I wanted to be on my family trip, and I felt like I wasn't really going to add anything to the reunion,
right.
Unfortunately.
I know. I wish we saw you there, but it's okay. Did you first meet anyone at the mini little reunion we did?
Yeah. So I met Bryce, Serenity, Joel, or not Joel, Bryce, Serenity, Jared, Shawnce, and I think I knew everybody else already. Oh, Kat.
Yeah. Okay.
Kat,
okay.
Yeah. I was trying to originally go down the line of how everybody was sitting. That's why I started with Bryce. I was like,
yeah, you didn't meet Bryce. Yeah, that's so crazy. Oh, Joel's giving us the tea. Thanks, Joel.
Okay, thanks, Joel.
We are dating and doing really amazing. I've met the whole family. Oh, wow.
Oh.
And got approval from her parents and sisters and cousins. Wow, that's a long list. Check.
I mean,
gonna ask her to make it official soon. Okay, let me hide this comment in case she sees it. Jesus.
No, Bella's so cute. She even like tagged me earlier because I knew Joel was gonna love, like I got my film photos developed and I knew that he was gonna love this picture I got of him, and naturally he did post it, which was sweet. He gave me photo creds, which is so Joel of him.
Wow.
Love you for that, Joel.
Nice, kind Joel.
Nice, kind Joel.
You are not a asshole.
Joel, I tried to tell her how great the town is, the area is that you live in Massachusetts. I'm advocating for it.
We're coming to visit. Oh, yeah. We did decide while you weren't here that we're coming over. So
yeah, we are. And if Bella's there, that'd be great as well, because I would like to meet Bella.
Joel is co-host next year.
Oh my God. It is kind of, I like hearing his takes on things. It's always so different from what I'm thinking.
Well, that's exactly what we need. I'm trying to think, guys. Do you have any last questions for Kenz before she leaves? I'm like, we talked about so much the other time.
He said he's 3 rooms. Perfect. I know we talked about a lot last time. I think like mostly when we had talked before, it was just that I do feel very at peace with the end of this chapter. And it was interesting because on Saturday I got to see, so the way that Saturday worked out was I invited all the former Islanders from previous seasons, and then Deb rounded up the ones in LA from season 4. And I don't think that's ever really been done before, of everybody getting together. So it was super cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I was talking to Justine about it because nobody knew what was going on. And she was like, I was so excited for you. And I told her, I was like, yeah, I just don't think I realized, I I spend so much time with you guys, and the people I'm closest to were in the finals because, you know, the 4 that I'm closest to from my season, with the exception of like Cher,
Right.
were in the finals. And so it was hard feeling like my chapter wasn't finished. And so the fact that I got the opportunity to close it out, I think was really amazing. And I do realize it was kind of once in a lifetime.
But you deserved it.
Thank you.
You did.
Thank you. I definitely feel like so at peace with it, and I feel ready to move forward. I think that I'll always be here as someone to give advice, but I don't feel like I need to ever go back, even though I never got a date once.
We still didn't get you a date. We got you the strip challenge.
Yeah.
No date.
I got 4 challenges, a strip challenge, a dick challenge, 2 food challenges.
Cake and
a Twitter challenge. I did win a challenge, and I was only there 6 days. No, I wasn't there for that. Thank goodness.
Honestly, thank God.
Oh, thank God.
Because people are rude as fuck.
Sassy Mackenzie would not have taken that well.
I mean, like, it would have been great TV.
It would have been great.
I wouldn't want you to go through that.
Yeah.
That's just not a great challenge.
I think I would have been so shocked. So it would have been like, because I think, like I said, the producers are like, keep it up. Great job. Great
so
work.
Good.
So I would have been really confused. What was the one that they ended up including about Connor? Wasn't it like the bidet thing?
Oh my God, I forgot
Never
about the
forget
whole
the bidet.
Bidet-gate.
Bidet-gate.
Remember, like, the first question I asked him when you guys came off, I was like, Connor, please explain the bidet. And he was like, full detail.
I think I was explaining, I'm trying to think of who I was explaining the bidet to. I think I explained it to Chad because he was asking how the hideaway went. And I was like, well, I think the highlight for Connor was the bidet.
Did they have a bidet in the hideaway?
This time?
Hey.
This time?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did you ever get to see it?
No. Why
That's
would I have
sad.
seen it?
I don't know. Maybe, like just a little tour.
I got asked, did you ask me who I would take to the hideaway?
No, who would you take to the hideaway?
I said I would take Deb and we'd make it into a girl sleepover.
Pillow fights.
Yeah.
I'm dead.
I mean, we'd probably be doing the same things that her and Jesse did in there because they were playing like the slaps game or whatever. They love that game. They stay busy.
I'm crying.
Yeah.
Wait, that's so good.
At least my outfit made it to the hideaway because Deb wore my outfit.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Oh, cute.
She was like, I want to look cute, but I don't want to look like too overtly sexy. And I was like, me coming in this late, if by some crazy chance I end up meeting somebody, I have one outfit and I gave it to her. I was like, wear this. Like, I mean, I don't know that I'll ever wear it again.
I'm dead.
I mean, what are people's thoughts on like re-wearing lingerie?
Honestly, can I tell you something? When we all went to the hideaway, we all wore the same outfit. It was Elizabeth's. Like, honestly, like, it's a little creepy now that I think of it.
Very
it was like
sister wives
this
of you.
white. It was white too. It looked like a wedding kind of thing. We all wore it. So I guess you see where I stand on that.
Where is it now?
Oh, it got lost in the laundry.
Lost in the laundry.
Yeah, so
they're probably like
they were like,
they're probably like, girls, we want to see something else in the hideaway.
Contraband. I have a good question. If you did get to come in and ask 2 people on a date, who would you ask?
What, like with the people that were in there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I would have taken probably Chad and Jeff.
Okay.
Yeah. Just because at that, like, if you had asked me like first day who I was going to pull, like if I had gone in, then I would have pulled, because that was my most interested in looks wise and personality wise, was the 2 of them.
Okay. Interesting.
But
I didn't get the Chad thing at first when
do you like him better after your interview with him?
Oh my God. He talked my ear off for like 3 hours, dead ass. We had 2 interviews because we didn't even get halfway through what we were talking about. So we had to talk the next day, and Elizabeth wasn't here. So it was just me and him talking, doing fast facts. He's giving me not fast facts, but long facts. Like,
yeah.
Oh, I want to do fast facts with you. That'll be our last thing. Wait, but no.
It's funny that you say that though, because I would teach Chad something new every day.
I'm dead.
He would literally be like, oh, today's daily lesson. And it would, well, like the first day I said, like, thank you for your candor. And he's like, what does candor mean?
Oh, you gave him vocab lessons.
Yeah, I did.
That's so nice
I think
of you.
We both gave the villa some as well. There was some.
Did you ever get hit by the barbecue boys?
What?
No, you must have not.
What does that mean?
The barbecue boys.
Hit by them.
Yeah.
Why would they be hitting me? With what?
With a barbecue shot.
What are you talking about? What?
It was like Isaiah, Jesse.
No, I
and
know what the barbecue boys are, but what are they hitting me with?
They were like going around forcing people to take barbecue shots of barbecue sauce.
I never saw this happen. I really feel like I give off an air of "don't touch me," and I feel bad
I'm not going to try.
I feel bad that I give off that energy sometimes. That I definitely feel like I do. Do you think I do?
No, I mean, not to me.
Yeah,
Because I'll just touch you. Like,
yeah.
Okay, let's do fast facts. Ready?
Yes.
Messiest person in the villa.
Oh shit! Everyone was so messy. Not me though.
Funniest Islander.
Deb.
Best cook.
Isaiah.
Best smooth talker.
Ooh, Timmy Swerve.
Best kisser.
I have no idea. I'm gonna assume Zeta. She seems like a great kisser.
Yeah, I forgot you didn't even make out with
I'd
anyone.
never kiss someone in a romantic way. I kiss
LOL.
someone with cake in my mouth.
Dear
That's about
God.
it. Yeah.
We didn't even get a kiss this season. Fuck. Someone playing the game. I mean, it's over now. You can say anyone.
I feel like the game players got eliminated early on based on what everyone else seems to think.
Like who?
God, I don't like being in this position. I didn't meet them, so I don't want to say, but
Just go-to is Chaz.
yeah, the go-to apparently is Chaz.
Who would take the money at the end instead of splitting it?
Oh shit. Are you gonna do like a sound effect for that or something?
No, I wish I knew how to do that.
I would like someone to do that at some point.
Me too.
But I really think that the boys were so like sweet this season that none of them would have done that. And then I don't know. I wish one of the girls, Chaz.
Most spiritual?
I mean, Chad and I had a lot of spirituality talks. He would meditate, so maybe Chad. Yeah, but there might have been people before him too.
Boldest.
Baby.
Longest to get ready.
I think it was Courtney, and it could. I mean, Syd requires people to help her get ready. That girl needs a glam team ASAP.
Wait, that's iconic.
Yeah, no, she is iconic. She really has main character energy, and I love it.
We love to see it.
Yeah.
Last to get out of bed.
I don't know. I was always the first out of bed with Joel. Joel would literally, I would be like opening up my eyes and I would see Joel walking by and I'm like, all right, time to get up. We would beg to get out of bed early. We're like, can we get up?
Please.
Please.
They're like, nope, everyone wakes up together. Okay. So thank you so much for coming on. This is your time. Plug what you have going on next because I know you got some shit going on.
So Out of His League just had another drop. So please go shop that. We're doing a sale through Monday. We had some former Love Island girls modeling some of the rookie tees that we just launched. So
Not me. Just saying.
You know what? Next shoot is all yours, Alex.
Am I just not model material?
I don't know if that's it. I think that maybe you would intimidate all of them because you are that much of a model.
Thank you.
But yeah, you can follow Out of His League on Instagram at Out of His League. Also, obviously me, just Mackenzie Dittman. I'm terrible with all other social media. So I would say follow me there, but you'll be very disappointed. And then also stay tuned. I do have a new podcast coming out in the next several weeks, but I'm going to keep the details to myself, but just know there will be many feminist rants to come.
As it should. I love it. I am so excited to hear it. And I'm so excited we finally made this happen because
finally,
God, spirits, no one wanted this to happen.
Nobody did. Nobody did. It was
No
definitely like when you really want to have like that first date with somebody and then it's just like you just can't make it happen and you just keep trying and trying and trying and you're like, is this God sending me a sign? But we said, forget it. God, I can't hear you.
We said, we finally did it. All right. I love everyone. And thank you, Mackenzie. Come back soon. We love you so much.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.